Okay. Thank you, Steve, for having accepted this interview. You work in Mempool.space. That, in my opinion, is a very interesting project. And so, my first question is, please tell me what is your role inside this project, and then something about the features of Mempool.space.
Sure. Well, first, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And so, yeah, my name is Steve. I work with Mempool, mainly doing growth stuff. So, like marketing type of work, biz dev, some documentation, and a little bit of front-end development every now and then. Mempool, the project in general, is it's a block explorer that focuses on the multi-layer ecosystem. So we have, real-time representation of the mempool, which we think about as layer 0, the blockchain, layer 1, and then the Lightning Network. We recently added that a few months ago, I guess now, as a layer 2 network, and then Liquid as well. So the Bitcoin network and kind of the additional networks around it are all on Mempool. And I guess one of the biggest distinguishing factors of Mempool is how it's all open source. And so you can go to Mempool.space and see all of the data and information on there, but you'd be trusting Mempool.space and the people who operate that site. So you can actually host Mempool for yourself on your own node at home and get all the data and everything from your own node and not trust Mempool.
For example, using also Umbrel, there is a plugin, for example.
Yeah, so Umbrel, and there's a few other ones, Start9, there's StartOS now, Raspberry Blitz, Ronin Dojo, and I think there's one other one, but they're all one click, very easy to install.
Yeah, very easy to install, yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, in fact, the most used feature is obviously see how charged is the mempool, what is the load on the mempool. This is the main usage, and in this it is very accurate, I think. But yes, I see in fact that since some month ago you introduced the Lightning Network also. It's possible to get many informations. So yes, it's a big project. It's how long this project started in the past?
It's been around since 2018. That's when Soft Simon originally released the website. It was back in 2018, and I think it became like an official open source project, I think a year or so after that, when 𝗏𝐻 joined. I think it was like halfway through 2019, I think, is when when the code was open sourced on GitHub, I believe, if I have the dates correct. And then, yeah, it just kind of developed from there.
And do you think that for a project like this, being open source is a good solution?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think Bitcoin is all about, not trusting other entities and other parties, third parties, and it's very important that a block explorer, which is a source of information, a source of truth about the state of the blockchain, the state of transactions, and the state of the network, it's very important that we have a reliable way to do that every Bitcoiner have a reliable way to do that they can host themselves. And I think Mempool fulfills that responsibility very well.
And since it's an open source project, there are many people who collaborate with this software.
Yeah.
So everyone can participate in the development. This is also a good news for everyone. In this project there are many people. How?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the core developers, we have about 10 people that are contributing to the project on a regular basis. But we also have, like you said, like a whole community of people who are helping us out, from core developers like Gloria and Merch to to folks working at companies that are using Mempool in various ways, that give us feedback all the time on how to make Mempool more useful and more useful for what they're doing.
Very nice. And do you have, as Mempool.space, in progress, new features coming? Is there something new that you are planning to introduce?
Yeah, I think Mempool is it's never going to be done. There's always going to be more to do.
It's dynamic.
It's dynamic. It's just like the site itself. It's a dynamic project. Yeah, and so we're working on stuff. I think right now, because I know we had some issues with performance because of the size of the Mempool, how it's grown so much over the past few months. We've been focused on streamlining the algorithms and making the site just perform better under load. So a lot of efficiency things that we're working on. Otherwise, I think the big focus of the project is on the accelerator that we just announced a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, the Mempool transaction accelerator, and making that ready for more public use.
Yeah, this is very interesting. In fact, many people who follows me sometimes ask about accelerating transaction. I think that accelerating transaction is one of the most required feature ever.
Yeah.
Because people is always in a hurry when sending a transaction.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve. Thank you very much for your time. It's very, very nice to having you here for discussing about this, and good job with Mempool.
Likewise. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.